G. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this is 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. Ran off with my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going on track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. I got his hit.
What is up? It is Wednesday, and on this fine Wednesday, you've got Phil and Will, the dubious duo. Bryce is out this week, not because he's sad, not because he's sold and capitulated, but just because he's got some shit going on. So, Bryce, we miss you. I'll be honest, last night at this time, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to speak into a mic without literally Will thinking I was dying because my voice was gonzo. But we're back, better than ever. Had to pull out the furry ass Adidas collab zippy hoodie, whatever the hell you call this thing, because we had some merch talk, and that's how I'm feeling. Merch Maxi to the extreme. Mr. Will, how have you been this past week?
Dude, I have been freaking just going hard on all things Yuga gaming right now, and it's been a wild ride. It's been a couple sleepless nights, mainly because I did not sleep only but a few hours because I was trying to get a good head start on the shattered leaderboard for Forge, or not the shard leaderboard for Forge.
Shard, yeah.
And then well, I've got shattered I'm trying to deal with too, right? So I'm like, okay, I got to figure out what's my plan here for knocking down some shattered. It's all just like there's stuff to keep you busy, which I really like, but at the same time, like I want to dive into all of it and like really absorb it all, and then like, you know, kind of go from there. But like it makes it kind of hard because I'm like, well, originally Bryce and I were going to work on the second part of our Legends of the Mara guide and kind of discuss strategies for hunting, but like I haven't even had time to like give hunting any ounce of thought because I've been just grinding Forge. So life's been crazy this past week. You know, I'm still in a hotel room. Fantastic. This is like the 32nd week of hotel rooms for me this year. So that's not a vibe, but like everything else is great
stuff. Yeah, that's a shitty vibe. First question from our friend Sean Nana raving: are you over or under 1K bio frags?
Currently. Over under. Oh, like personally over 1K bio frags.
Over.
But are we saying over or under? Well, I was thinking more of like a.
Yeah, I got what
making a bet on something, but
I think
yeah,
you're just
currently positioned over. I'm almost about to crack into 4,000 bio frags. So I mean,
dude, you're sick.
Well, I've been like using my quotas to fucking grind that shit out, and like it's expensive to use quotas for enchanting, for farming. Like on the cost of whatever, like it's much cheaper to just like buy some other deeds and like use quotas elsewhere. But I was kind of feeling a little tapped out on how much buying I had been doing. So I was like, I'm going to just take a step back. We're just going to burn some quota power on biofrags. So
that's fair. And you got like 57 fucking quotas, dude. That's the thing. You got 69
quotas. Down. I mean, we're about to break down the farm. Biofrags, low inventory. In case if you haven't seen it on the timeline, it's been everywhere.
Yeah.
There is no more biofrags to be had. It's the final count. There's 60,700 biofrags left. So
for sure.
Good luck getting your hands on those. You know what I'm saying? Shoot.
We are going to throw a couple questions your way, and we'll take these now. And by the way, thank you for being here. Please continue to throw the questions in or comments. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk a little bit about merch teases that we saw on the timeline over the last even 5 hours, 2 hours. We're going to talk about 8 Fest. We're going to talk about Legend of the Mara, of course, and the Yuga Labs update from Daniel. So Crawford says, bullish on heavy metals in the Legend of Mara hunt. like hunting.
I'm
with
so
them.
curious to see how they bring in heavies into LOTM.
Yeah.
If
Agreed.
they give them a very strong position and a strong role, then like that'll be fantastic. Like there
Yeah.
will be no complaints across the board. I'll be happy that I, grinded all that time for Forge to like make sure all my tiles were up, make sure got all my augments in and all that kind of stuff. But if they like slot them in under, well, I don't know, maybe they have different roles than what an Oda can do.
Sure.
But if they slot them under like base Odas, so the Maras, that would be kind of like that'd be a kick.
I'm just
That
interested
would
in
not be.
how they bring in like all of the different collections. Like, what does that actually look like? Because surely they're going to be tiered off, but like, what does that, what is that percentage? What does that look like? And I think, like, do we think that's coming the next, like when do we think that's coming? Is that months from now?
Well, I think it was teased when I can pull it up. We'll see what season it's supposed to come in. I think it's not until the 3rd season, maybe.
Okay.
But I mean, we know right now that our Odas aren't taking any damage when they're up against the Shattered. So like, there's going to be a lot of room for them to develop this game further. Like, we're literally just looking at like square one. We haven't moved from it. We're just standing here idly, bashing away at the Shattered. And there's already a number of things that you can do that, you can play your cards differently and have different results. You can down Shattered extremely quickly. You can down them extremely slow. I mean, there's that optimization game which you can play where you're basically, trying to get the most optimal performance on your deeds, and everybody's doing the same thing, right? So if you can do it better than somebody else can, then you're going to reap more rewards. And if you're going to just do it passively, then you're not going to get as much, but you're still participating, you're still collecting and all that good stuff. Okay, so I stand corrected. It's not the 3rd. It's the 3rd is the one with unearthed artifacts.
Okay.
Sorry, let me see here. 2 is the Shattered attacks. So next season
That'll be interesting. Yeah.
We are getting attacked.
Hmm.
So then it makes me wonder, like, I forget who mentioned it. Was it Daniel? Maybe somebody was saying
it was Daniel.
That like these heavies could be like tanks, taking on a bunch of damage and whatnot, and like that becomes interesting when you're like, okay, well, how could these different partner PFPs like start to play a role and like connect all the dots between all the ecosystems, and they all kind of have like their own little rightful spot of like, this is their function in the other side, and maybe they can have some bleed over in different areas, but maybe it's not as effective as using like a dedicated asset in its dedicated role kind of deal. So I don't know. It's just I'm excited to see what they do. I think the door is wide open. They already teased that there's more game mechanics coming. We just have to give them time to build.
Building brick by brick. Hey, Jensen, shout out. You got 225. Let's go. Tier 1 deed. And 1 common hunter and common enchanter. Great work. We love to see it. I love to see all of the different size of bags or assets that people have and them enjoying it. Because at the end of the day, I've actually really liked, and like you said, there's so many more mechanics that they're gonna, and so many levers they're gonna pull. But even already, I'm like very invested, very interested, always thinking about, what's a play that I could maybe make or change or whatever it may be. And so they already have me hooked. My next question for you, and then we're going to dive into some merge talk, and we'll come back to Legends tomorrow. Don't you worry. But what are your thoughts on the limited items from those partner collections? Are you bullish on these different things from Serum City or Ranga or Forgotten Runes? What are your thoughts on those items? I know it's a lot of speculation, but what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, my initial take is like, I don't have a reason to care right now. So like, if Yuga wants to give me a reason to care, then I will latch onto that and we can ride. But like,
sure,
I'm not too familiar with any of those ecosystems. I dipped my toe in Ranga just a little bit at one point. I think I did like one of the reveal things that, or one of the trick or treat things that Forgotten Runes did at another point. And so I don't know. I have like a few little of those like kind of stray artifacts in my wallet. Not really sure if they do anything or what's really going on there. But like, to be completely honest, I feel a little tapped out in terms of like things I can keep up with. And like
Sure.
the current thing that I constantly forget is 10KTF Battletown. And that's the one that's closest to home. So like,
Yeah.
I'm like, it'll be like a Tuesday and I'll be like, oh shit, did I finish doing the missions? Did I do all my bounties? Did I like, and that's like an easy thing. That's just like a few clicks and you're done. But like for
Right.
whatever reason, that's the one that's just back of my mind right now. So I'm like, if I can't even manage that, and that's like the one right in front of my face, I don't know if I could go in and get really immersed in Serum City or Ranga or Forgotten Runes and kind of understand their lore.
No, I think that's fair. I think that's a good take. And I think that just across the space, you have to decide those things that you want to be laser focused on, because there's only so much time in a day, only so much energy. And as we get more activations, which is extremely bullish, like Will was saying, it's only going to get harder, right? There's going to be more shit to do within these collections. These people that are building, hey, guess what? They're going to give you a million things, a ton of stuff to do, merch to purchase, in real life events to attend, online talks, spaces, games. There's going to be so much shit that, like, if you're really trying to juggle, 5, 10 projects, it gets really freaking hard, dude. And you just get lost in the sauce, and all of a sudden you're not actually enjoying any of it, right? It feels more like a chore, and you feel like you're lost the entire time. So
yeah,
anyway,
definitely.
One very recent update. If you haven't seen it yet, you must be living under a rock. But we do have a little merch tease. A little merch tease from the man, the myth, the legend, Jeff Nicholas. Man, Will, what are you thinking? What are you saying about this? Hits close to home, obviously. A lot of us have talked about, let's get some merch that's directly tied to some of these features, some of these traits on Bored Apes, Mutant Apes. Well, here we go. What's your thoughts on the flip brim sneak peek?
Yeah, I was gonna say that right there is a BAYC flip brim trait if I've ever seen one. And
Dude, for real.
it's funny seeing some of the discussions in the different chats. There's some people that are like, oh, I would never wear that. And then some other people are like, well, this is not a hat that you wear. This is a sacred collector's item that you just want to keep pristine.
For
not
sure.
Mess up. I don't know. I mean, you think
I think I'll buy
you
two.
Get your hands on one of these if you can, or what if it's limited though to people that have flip brim traits? That would be sad. Talk about a curveball.
Listen, there would be so much fucking uproar if that was the case. People would lose their damn mind.
Hey, you know what though? Maybe some freaking BAYC trait apes would get some respect on their name, because I know Bryce has his merch shirt, and that merch shirt trait gets treated like absolute dog water sometimes. So maybe it would just
the space.
Maybe it would just give them the light that they need.
Listen, no fucking chance. Number one. Number two, a very quick story. And by the way, Roots, bruh, I agree. It goes super hard. A long time ago, like 12, 13 years ago, I used to play a lot of men's league softball, believe it or not, like fast pitch softball. So these dudes were fucking humming that thing underhand, right? And I played a lot of it. Every time I played, and you might think differently of me, and that's okay. If you're out there watching replay, or your name is Will, I used to wear a flip brim hat. I did it myself. I like flipped that shit all the way up. And yeah, was it kind of like a little arrogant thing to do because, you talk a lot of shit in those leagues? Yeah, 100% was. And so now that there might be an actual flip brim in the universe, well, there is, it looks like, man, I'm copping two, and you'll see me with one on the head, and I'll have one in the plastic, keep it as a collector's item. So I love it. I also really love that they've done a little bit of this teasing. I'm going to pull up the other one here just real quick. The other tease they had this past week with the Bape collab, and naturally people with any kind of brain said, oh, these are shoes, and limited shoes, because this is limited to 1,000. What are your thoughts on Bored Ape and Bathing Ape shoes that are limited? Are you a shoe maxi?
I am not a shoe maxi. I'm excited to see the collab though. I don't know what they'll be priced at, but that will heavily determine whether or not I try to pick a pair up.
Yeah.
And that's mainly because it is literally going to just be something that goes onto the collector's shelf. And yeah, I mean, I can already tell white sneakers like that. That's not my vibe. So, but as a collector's item, definitely could be.
What do you think the price point is? What would be a price point you would think is reasonable? And what would be a price point where you'd say, I can't even purchase this for a collection?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I was so far off, I think, when it was for the pricing of the Gucci collab piece.
How much was
If
that
I
even?
if
I
I
don't even
remember,
remember myself.
dude, wasn't it like? I think it was like about $1,000.
Damn.
Was it more than that?
I
It was
don't know,
about an ETH.
honestly.
Maybe it was about
Okay.
$2,000.
That's
It might have been about
depressing.
$2,000. I don't quite remember. That was a little bit different though, you know? Is this
Yeah.
going to come with an in-game item? You get a special emote or something like that? Like, I mean, okay. That starts to seem a little interesting. I would definitely like to see all of these partnerships kind of result more of with a like a little digital flair that goes with them too. That would definitely be interesting.
That's fair. I think, man, if I was just guessing, if you go to, I'll pull this up too, basically to check to see what is our price point that we're actually probably looking at. I'm thinking like $500, but I don't freaking know. Looking on StockX for those people that love shoes. Now, these are some of the different collabs they've done, but it's kind of all over the map, right? You have some that are super high and $2,000. A lot of them are really like in the 400, 500, 600 range. If I was just completely guessing, the 450 ape Rich says, I think that's actually a decent guess. I think that's a good guess. I would guess
They got
between
one
4
with
and 600.
Razor.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's definitely interesting. And that $400 to $600 range, like I'm all in. I'm definitely copying a pair. If it was like north of 1,000, let's say like 1,200 to 1,400, that might be tough. That might be tough.
So are we thinking this is kind of like what we'll get here? This logo that they have on the side, and then
Yep.
some kind of design. I think maybe the tongue would be like the Curtis design that we saw.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe. I'd love it if it was a skull, the
Interesting.
Bored Ape skull somewhere too, obviously. I don't know, dude. Like they obviously look
Although,
very,
is that reserved for the Bape logo? I don't
yeah, it
know.
might
Did
be.
they do that? Is that too far fetched?
Um,
Well, I mean, you could
they
have
haven't.
ape logos all over there. I mean, so if this is just kind of like their standard
Yeah,
recipe for collabs, I mean, this might tell you everything you need to know.
probably a good guess for
Huh.
sure. And yeah, everybody in the chat, $400 to $600. Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably where we're at for sure.
Let's try another one.
You're going on eBay. This man is an eBay maxi. Let's fucking go.
Well, I mean, it felt convenient, and these are worn, man. Okay, wait. So perhaps they're not all white. If this is just the preview of the tongue, and this is just a white tongue, maybe the tongue's white. Okay. I was starting to think maybe we were getting all white shoes. Did I make that up?
I think they're gonna be black and white. Like, dude, can we get something like those old? Remember those old artifact teased fucking shoes? If we got something like
the
that,
artifact shoes.
I mean, sure, but I don't. It feels like that's gone. That's dead and gone, bro. That's what it feels like.
Man, they tried to be like, "Oh, it's gonna, it's coming. We didn't forget about it." And like,
Yeah.
man, y'all got freaking swept that under the rug when Nike came Nike and Nike came
knocking, dude. For real. J Dunk, we're gonna pivot right now to this is right here. This is gonna be the next famous tweet from Yuga Labs. PS Clubhouse. I mean, listen, a lot of people on the timeline. Hey, we're just gonna keep it real because it's board TV. It's Will and I, and that's all we do. There's a lot of people been bitching a lot. It's just been bitching, and I understand. It's the bear. I fucking get it. I'm here too. It's not like I love the shit going down. I'm not like, hell yeah, we're going fucking down again. I don't like it. But there's a lot of people complaining, a lot of people bitching. Some things rightfully so, but like in my opinion, there was some point where it's like, listen, let's just fucking hang on for a second. Because if we just like continually bitch and say the same thing over and over again, just rehash it, like what the hell are we doing? Like that doesn't help either. And so on that note, it's this nice update, I think most people would say, from Daniel last night. And so if you're a Bored Ape, if you're a Mutant Ape, if you like Yuga Labs at all, if you're any part of the ecosystem, I hope you took the time to actually read this. I read the entire thing. And I also heard some people talking about it that were obviously in the ecosystem. Most of us that are in the ecosystem, we're talking about it a lot. I also heard some people talking about it that are not in the ecosystem. And here's my quick take. And then we can break down some of the parts because I think it is important to go over this because it was a nice update. Like if we're just being fucking real, there's some really good information here. My overall sentiment, my overall take, the quick TLDR from Phil is this was a great update for the community, for the Yuga Labs ecosystem and the community that is a part of that. This was like, hey, I know we've had a lot of shit going on. This is what's happened since I've been at Yuga. These are some things that, we're moving forward. These are the reasons that we did it. And here you go. But I felt like it was very much directed to the people that are here already, which I think was needed. Like and again, this is not surprising to me. He's not a fucking idiot. He's smart. He's a smart dude. And so he was put in this position to do exactly this job. And people have been ragging on him. And I think this right here shows he's been watching. He's been listening. It's not like he's not obtuse. And this was community. I hear you. I see you. Here are some of the tough decisions we've had to make, but it's going to be good long term. Like at the end of the day, that's how I took this. So what was your quick, like, as you kind of digested it, the first read, maybe, Will, what was your first takeaway?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's definitely clear, like, there were some issues that needed to be taken care of, and he came in and he took care of them in a rather timely manner. It wasn't like he let the problem bleed on for years on end and then said, oh, wait, we should maybe put this fire out that's in the building. Right. So, I mean, kudos for that. Obviously, like some of the changes were quite like a rather big jolt to the system that people were not necessarily anticipating, right? And so, and just like if you are on the receiving end of one of those discussions where you're moved on from the company, I mean, like nobody wants to be on the receiving end of that, but it's not a pleasant feeling being like let go. So yeah, it's been hard for those people. It's been hard for the team members that are still there because there is that slight bit of like fear where you're like, okay, well, maybe could be next.
Sure.
Or you don't really know because some of those conversations happen in the dark. So then you have all of that chaos, all of the chaos internally of the people that are still there. And then you have all of the fucking community members that are just like piling on in some ways that are productive, just providing support to the people that were impacted directly. Some people that are just being totally out of line, in my opinion, on just voicing more, not even voicing. It was just kind of like reading their sentiment. Just, I don't know. It's not something I really care to do, but some people, that's their thing. So that's what they did. But I think at the end of this, like it is extremely clear that he read every single thing that has gone through on Twitter. And maybe not everything, but like the majority of stuff. Like you catch wind of the big things and, they're taking it into consideration. And so I kind of feel like every single MFer who decided to, put some of those mockery tweets of Daniel need to kind of maybe apologize.
Sit the fuck down.
Because let Daniel cook, man, is what I'm kind of
literally let him cook. And so we're gonna go through this in little sections, and then Will, please jump in. And if you're watching, like, please give us your take too, because it doesn't mean that we're exactly right. We won't necessarily always have the exact same takeaway. But basically, the first intro part, he's just talking about like, hey, I've attended a bunch of events. It's been super great to know you. And then he takes us back to when he began, right? And so talks about the connections within the communities, innovation, all of these things are true. And also he gets right into it, the restructuring and refocusing. As I mentioned in my note to Yuga team, after spending time diving deep into everything we were looking at, we wanted to get down to 3 core priorities, which is important for us to know. It's very important. And here you go. They told us. Number 1, support our existing communities. Number 2, focus on other side execution. Number 3, leverage partnerships. Of course, like those, that makes sense. Those are great things. As difficult as it's been, the restructuring is complete. So that's another thing is I think people are like maybe relieved that now, you won't see more people being let go. And then he gets into Bored Ape Yacht Club. A lot of what he talks here is the club, the strong, and it's across the globe. There's so many people all over the place doing really, really dope things. He talks about the Made by Apes and how they want to drive that even further, deeper into the core of the club, and as well as partnerships, long list of partners who want to engage with Bored Ape Yacht Club, except they've been very selective in engagement. And as we want to present unique and well-executed partnerships to you, there are a few more in the pipeline that will be announced soon. So again, number 1, chill the fuck out. They got more shit coming. You thought Gucci was cool, which it is. You thought Puma was cool, which it was. You think fucking Bape is cool, which it is. How about Bobby Hundreds? That was fucking cool. How about Adidas? That was cool. Oh, wait, they have more? Okay. So number 1, like, let's let them cook on some partnership stuff. They're talking about Made by Apes. What was your takeaway from this first section on Bored Ape Yacht Club, Mr. Will?
I mean, just aligned with the priorities that we need to be aligned with for the club. Yep. And I think a lot of people were kind of feeling like, oh no, maybe the club is getting overrun by just this massive gaming push.
Yeah.
And clearly these points align and do not even mention anything about gaming in the BAYC section, right? So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited still to see all the different collabs they roll out. I do like that they reiterated somewhere. Was it in this one, the multi-year Gucci engagement? So like that's cool. I think there's a lot more interesting things that still could be done with Gucci. But yeah, it just was like a very strong realign. Like here's our stance. Here's what we're working on. Here's what we got going.
Yep. Agreed. And then you have the next section.
There's no doubt.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say there's no doubt that there's a strong vision to like what is being worked on there.
Agreed. Couldn't have said it better myself. It's perfect. Then they get into he gets into CryptoPunks. The relationship between Punks and Yuga was strained at the beginning. That's, again, to be honest, if you're paying attention, you saw that too. When that was first acquired, there was definitely a strain there. And so, again, they're trying to figure out what that looks like. They're obviously expanding their engagement with top-tier museums to elevate CryptoPunks, double down, triple down on community support. And he talked about recent meetups with CryptoPunks. I think what they're doing with CryptoPunks is dope, honestly. If I had a CryptoPunk, I'd be super excited. They're not doing too much, but they're doing some really cool things to let the art shine, which is exactly what you should be doing with an iconic brand like CryptoPunks. And then I'm just going to tie in Meebits to this as well, because we got another Larva Labs collection. This was the one that I'll be honest with you, and you know this, is this one was kind of tough to read a little bit. But what I'll say is I appreciate the transparency. At the end of the day, I appreciate the transparency because he didn't have to say all this stuff. He did not have to say any of this shit, if we're being honest. And how many Web 2 companies would have actually come out and told you all this, let you peek behind the curtain a bit more? None would. Meebits has been a different story. Business perspective, the brand has not flourished. Yet from a community and creative perspective, his broad yet quirky appeal. And its members are a passionate group. So true, right? Like the community in Meebits is very strong. The creativity there is extremely strong. But we didn't know the business perspective. We would never have known that, right? And so we saw this when he did his first letter about how Meebits were going to go much more into the other side. And here we go. This is more explanation. I believe the answer is to evolve Meebits into a dynamic and interactive ownership experience by moving them to other side. Because obviously other side is a massive bet for Yuga Labs. It talked about the Berlin Metropolis up to my leadership team, making it a tentpole experience for other side. Felt like a slam dunk. And so what I know, I love Meebits. You love them more than even me. You love the Meebits. And so what was your takeaway from this little paragraph?
Man, I feel for the Meebits. I do understand kind of where they're coming from. Maybe all the pieces didn't quite align yet. It didn't sound like they've completely scrapped their activations from Meebits 1 to 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, etc. So I think it's probably a good thing they had to find them because they can now adjust them and still roll stuff out. Seeing a lot of the core people leave was kind of hard.
Yep.
Because I
Really
mean,
hard.
I was definitely feeling extremely comfortable with the people that were involved, and I felt like that was a solid reason to continue to support Meebits as metaverse ready avatars for the metaverse. So
Agreed.
I don't know. We'll see what happens with Meebits. I still feel like they are extremely unique just because they did come from Larva Labs, rich in history and full of potential. And it's extremely clear that Other Side or Yuga has a plan for them in Other Side, which is exciting. And Metropolis could open the doors to a lot more exciting things for Meebits in the future.
Yep.
And I feel like, still going to just kind of ride the ride with these things. I will say my initial stance was that when Yuga purchased Meebits, they would then be able to flex what Yuga is capable of with Meebits brand. And so that does slightly seem shelved, but I'm not too concerned.
Yeah.
They're still obviously cooking stuff up with Meebits.
Definitely still cooking. Definitely hard to hear about those amazing team members that are no longer with Yuga Labs. Like, that hurts. We just had Danny on. We love Danny. There's so many of these, again, amazing people in that community. So community's still there. Community's still amazing. Got to keep pushing through. 10K TF, basically, I mean, to me, this felt bullish. As someone that has some 10K TF, I would have felt pretty good reading this. He says it deserved a more substantial role in the world of Yuga. The Thursday events have been important to the community, but we needed to find an even deeper engagement. With its strong partner focus, it became increasingly clear that the Other Side is the right platform to grow the engagement. Eric Reed will also be diving in with the community soon to showcase some of his near-term priorities. That, to me, though it's short, feels very bullish for 10K TF. What's your thoughts, Mr. Will?
Yeah, I mean, 10KTF clearly has just nailed every single aspect of storytelling. They do it in such a beautiful way each and every Thursday. And the way they just tie things in with text, still imagery, animated shorts, it's beautiful. I think 10KTF, obviously, I feel like this is like some of the stuff though there that was mentioned, like it should already have been the focus that it was going into Other Side, or maybe, I don't know. I'm excited to see what they do though. I think they will continue to develop the story. Wagmi-san will continue to, do what Wagmi-san does.
Kiss us on the head as we enter the Other Side.
Deliver dope shit for all of the communities entering the Other Side.
Agreed. Then you have the larger kind of twofold here, the Other Side and gaming. And the big takeaways for me are this. I'm not going to read through the whole thing. Number one is they were not satisfied with how fast and what Other Side trips were, what they entailed. You weren't able to have enough people from around the globe, right? Be able to participate. They were too spread out, right? Obviously, it's hard, but they wanted to have more constant announcements. That's already happening, and I think you'll continue to see that. Obviously, with the Yuga Labs Gaming X handle, you will see that directly. But I think the biggest thing here is that they're really talking about these partnerships with Hadian, Big Rhino, and Roar Studios. I think you're going to see so much more of them. And I think they just were not pleased with the way it was going. And so they needed to make a change and try something to move things along a bit faster. And then I appreciated this because so many of us have said this. Gaming, we have fallen short of expectations with the Forge. Just straight up. First sentence of gaming. And if we're being honest, we've all been kind of saying that, but we didn't know. We thought maybe this is what they wanted. I don't freaking know. And so,
you know how like sometimes though, when there's like a mint and you're sitting there thinking there's no way they like let this through quality, or they aren't thinking like, yo, like the conversations where it's like there's got to be at least one MFer in the company that's saying, I don't know about this, right? And so like this to me clearly says that they're like, oh, there's enough people in there that are like, I don't know about this. Like in terms of the execution, they freaking know it. It's not like they're gonna go and like try and make the same mistake again. Like this is easy, right? Right? You figured out that you messed up, you acknowledged it. Now you just go and you go do something else.
Yep. And we like
Bring
that.
a different twist to the table. I mean, take all the feedback in. I feel like there's tons of feedback, right? In terms of like, and this was said early on that a lot of these are just experiments, right?
Yeah.
In terms of different mechanics, in terms of different syncs for the token, or different ways to utilize ApeCoin, and different ways to deliver rewards, and different game styles, and different leaderboard structures, and different whatever, right? So like they're all different. Dookie Dash was clearly more playable, more fun, more fast paced, which when you're speaking to a group of degens, like shiny object moving around is much more better than slow turd shitting all over the floor. I mean, okay. So I don't know. And the funny thing is like, I still don't. I mean, Forge has been a massive pain in my ass, but like, I still don't hate Forge.
Yeah. I would agree with that. Like, I think,
You know what I'm saying?
think
Like,
there's
there's
little- yeah,
elements
there's-
of
yes.
goodness there that they
I
could
agree.
definitely take and like,
I agree.
I don't know.
I agree, but my point, I think what you said is spot on. I think there are little segments of that they can kind of marinate on and try again a little bit different. But I appreciate that, they know that it's not up to expectation. And so, hey, let's keep fucking pushing. That's been my whole sentiment when everyone's been just so much complaining is like, hey, listen, it doesn't mean that we're satisfied with what they've done, but let's just see what happens. And I think this is very clear as day. If you haven't yet too, you could have given a wave to the Yuga Labs Gaming new X account to potentially be part of this group that they're going to actually gather feedback from the community. So again, you talk about receiving feedback and acting on it. Guess what? They're creating a small group of people that are going to be doing that regularly. If that's not bullish, I don't know what the hell is, right? Like that is exactly what we've been looking for.
You'll love to see it.
Mr. Rich, I will miss Forge more than I miss Dookie Dash. Hey, there we go. Mr. Rich, Forge on, brother.
I believe it. I will say though, the Yuga Labs gaming channel has come out extremely strong, and I hope that they can continue to deliver updates and engagement that they've done so far.
Agreed.
Like at that same cadence, wherever it makes sense. Definitely, the patch notes fantastic, and quick, consistent, easy to read. It's good stuff.
It's a nice and amazing update. Ordinals was interesting to me just because I wasn't sure they're going to continue to do that. If I'm being honest, I thought they maybe would pull the plug on that as well, but they are not.
Well, there was also that time not too long ago when Garga hopped on that Bitcoin Spaces. So there's definitely like a little bit of hanging out still over there, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm just saying I thought maybe that would be one of the, talk about restructuring. I thought maybe that was going to be something that got the X, but the key here at the end of the freaking day though is obviously this amazing addition. Oh shit, just lost it in the ether. PS also Clubhouse. I mean, come on. People are talking about Clubhouse, complaining about Clubhouse. Here we go. What is your thoughts on this additional, just perfect? I mean, almost 100,000 views. Freaking Christ, Will. That's a lot in 24 hours. What is your thoughts on this little tagline of his amazing information dump?
Yeah, I mean, obviously sprinkling it in at the end there, he's definitely learned a thing or two in terms of, getting the community all stirred up a little bit. It's funny though, because this to me, like the Clubhouse, I mean, I don't know if I necessarily care.
See, you're on the opposite end of the spectrum as me, because I think,
yeah, dude, like I don't know if I just don't see the vision, but like personally, an IRL Clubhouse seems extremely difficult to get to make it worthwhile. So I'm like,
But what's
I don't
worthwhile?
know.
What's worthwhile? Can you define that for yourself?
Well,
What's something?
that's what I don't understand. Like, what is the main driver here that is going to say that a clubhouse is a physical club? Like, don't get me wrong. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. It's going to be decked out BAYC head to toe. Like, it's going to be a cool thing to go experience. It'd be like, if you were an Astros fan, you walk into the Astrodome or some shit like that, like you would have geeked out over that. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what good it really necessarily does us as a online club.
Here's what I'll say. We're gonna have it online. Like we're gonna have the online clubhouse, obviously, on the other side. And here's a question for you. What if this is complete what if speculation talk. So if that bothers you, just mute me for a second. But let's just say they do the key, the main clubhouse in Miami, like they've talked about, right? Like that's where it starts. Like that would make sense to me. Like everyone's known that forever. Even though we're a global brand, it's always been like, hey, this is Miami. So what if they had this, like, again, it was like a tourist thing. It wasn't only apes that could go in there, obviously, but it was
Right.
very decked out in ape stuff. And then what if they allowed you the opportunity, and this would be a lot, and I know a lot. What if they allowed you to open up your own, like a franchise opportunity through your membership of having a Bored Ape and Mutant Ape?
So are we talking more like it's a physical like clubhouse where like are we talking more of like it's a like a fast food chain, not a fast food chain restaurant?
I'm thinking it's like a dive bar type thing, maybe.
But like, yeah, so I'm trying to think of something that like would we maybe want to say it would be like a spin on like a Dave and Buster's almost?
Sure, maybe more of an
Maybe
adult
like
thing,
like
potentially.
spiced up a little bit
Yeah,
differently,
maybe,
obviously, but like so okay, then like maybe that becomes interesting, but then that's a big lift. You
It's
really
a
gotta
massive lift. Yeah.
you gotta have branding on point. You gotta have
Yeah.
mass appeal and everything. If not, first of all, if the first one isn't a hit, right? Like let's bring it home to Texas real quick. Buc-ee's, right? You start
Yeah.
off with one. Holy shit, we can't, we have people flying in and out of our doors nonstop all day, every day. We're selling the best fudge, the best beef jerky. You take a shit on the cleanest bathroom in all of, 900 miles from here. And then it's like, okay, so they expand and they start putting some Buc-ee's up in different locations and the brand grows and whatever. Fantastic. Right. But like it started off as a hotspot, which was in a well positioned location for travel.
Right.
I mean, to, like a rest stop for traveling. And so then it's like, okay, so you have that kind of brand and then it kind of explodes, but then you have to have like that diehard group of people. Which
sure.
You kind of have a diehard
You
group of
definitely
people.
have that. Yeah.
I'm just saying you have that key ingredient. The question is can you have it penetrate mainstream at that point and like, really get people excited, which speaking of mainstream and excited about BAYC, I know Bryce isn't here. I don't think he shared it on Twitter, or X, but he ran into somebody in the airport who had a ape on their shirt. And they are not an ape, they're just a fan. So that was kind of cool. I was like, oh, okay. Like, there's definitely some people. And the comments were, I believe, not a direct quote, but they liked what the apes had done. They thought it was a unique concept, yada, yada, yada. So,
Are we back?
I don't know, but I don't know. So anyways, I get where you're going with franchises.
I don't think they'll do it just because of the heavy lift. That's, to be honest, like, because quality assurance and just make, again, that can kill it, right? Is like, if every one of these isn't just exactly what you envision, then it just all kind of falls apart. And so I think the lift is just too much for Yuga. I would love it though if somebody did something like that. And J Dunk, I am with you. Even though I'm not even drinking anymore, a dive bar, a Bored Ape dive bar would slap so fucking hard. Arcade games, old fucking bar stools, like, come on. Like, only fried food. You're not eating fucking steaks there. You're eating twice fucking fried onion rings or some shit. Like that to me feels like the grimy swamp.
So one of the other things I will mention that I think is interesting potential with a clubhouse is the fact that we have a ton of brands that are, have applied for their MBAs and have, received their licenses. And like maybe it makes sense to some degree that some of those MBA products are distributed through the clubhouse.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that would be kind of cool. Then those people, they have like a physical shelf they can put their products on.
Yeah.
And that's just comes with owning an ape, right? I mean, you don't have to try and do any kind of fancy backflips to get into Walmart, but you can definitely, get your stuff right in the door and on the shelf at the clubhouse like that.
That would be dope. Yeah.
That would be cool. I mean, I think that seems way more manageable than franchising.
Agreed. Rich,
an easy lift.
This is also amazing. Ran into the guy wearing a Walmart hero shirt at the state fair, and he was wearing it just because he liked the ape. We love to hear that, Rich. And then Mr. Nana, retail storefront featuring MBA products. Exactly. It's like having that addition to this. Maybe that's what Bryce Will is saying. I'm on something here. Will is saying is that what if that is the way, you have an ape and that's where it's all highlighted. That could be really cool, honestly. And I think we'll see you guys will see it when you go over to Hong Kong. And let's talk a little bit about Ape Fest and kind of, your expectations as it's only 2 weeks away. Is that bodega, that setting where you're going to see some of these MBA products that are out there and just get to see and interact and potentially purchase things there. I love that idea. And obviously Yuga is very supportive of the MBA and all the people building with that. So Will, I know it, God, it feels like we've been talking about Hong Kong for like 73 years, but now really it is 2 weeks basically. What are your thoughts, expectations? What are you most excited about for the Ape Fest in Hong Kong?
Dude, first of all, I'm just excited to get back and be at another community event. It was great to see everybody at the Mutant second year anniversary, but I feel like it was missing the little sparkle that is Ape Fest. And I don't know how to describe it other than it's just there's something extra little special there when you got the whole Ape Fest feel, all the apes everywhere, yada yada yada. I mean, it was cool to see the megas and all that kind of stuff plastered all over the Mutant thing, but like, I don't know, there's just a slight bit of different energy. And maybe this was a bear market event that we went to previously for the Mutant thing, but it was just like the vibes weren't as elite as they are at Ape Fest. So I'm excited to get back. I'm excited to go, to just whatever they got planned. My expectations extremely low. I just want to be surprised. And the best way to get surprised is to just have zero expectations. So that's kind of what I'm rolling with. Low expectations, but I just know I'm going to have a good time anyways. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. It's like, I'll be honest, and obviously everybody knows this if you've paid attention at all. It's going to be very, very different than the other Ape Fest, like extremely different. Those were definitely more of a, hey, let's get together and party and listen to awesome music and just fucking vibe. Where this is really more of an opportunity, or at least will give you an opportunity to have some more conversations, which I think is cool. But I do think it's going to be different. Like, you're going to have a different crew of people too. Doesn't mean that it's all going to be different people. But the nice thing about going to Hong Kong is there's people that never, couldn't make it to New York, couldn't go to Miami. Now I'm in the opposite perspective, so I'm really sad that I can't go, in 2 weeks. Like, that sucks. I thought for sure I was going to go to Ape Fest every single year. Like that, like if you asked me, year one Ape Fest, I would have said, I'm going to make every one of these things. But again, I wasn't thinking maybe necessarily long-term. And so I think it'll be different. Obviously, I think it's still going to be dope. They're for sure going to have some, like you said, surprises, some surprise and delight aspect. Guaranteed that's going to happen. And I'm also interested and excited to see and hear a bit about more of the community events that are being held. All these different communities that are in Asia that are able to kind of flex their muscle and obviously, kind of give people a good time and whatever that is. So I think it's going to be, I know it's going to be awesome. I don't even think it's going to be awesome. can we have it in North America next year, please? Or maybe give me 6 months to plan if it's somewhere else, please. Other than that, it's going to be freaking cool. You guys are going to have a dope time. Yeah, I'm excited to see I think they're going to do a really good job too. And they always do, of just like filming the experience and being able to highlight these different communities that put on these events and be able to highlight, what they're putting on. I think you're going to see a lot of that from them and from their comms team they always do such a clean job, obviously, but I think that'll be fun just to see everybody having a good time shooting the shit. Texas would be epic Ape Fest. Yeah. Can we just get it to Texas? Just make it real easy on us. FOMOing merch the most. Yeah. Adam, the thing is about the merch, I'll be interested to see what that looks like. Very interesting, because a lot of these things, I think all of it will be available online, but it'll be interested on the like the shoes, right? Like there's only 1,000 of them. So is that just first come, first rip? Like, you know what I mean? Like, are they going to have some that are dedicated to people that are there? And what's that number? Is it all just going to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what that looks like. I guess we'll probably get some more information. Sean, is Texas doing anything for Ape Fest community led? Nothing official. Some of us have talked a little bit about getting together. Texas is a really large fucking state, in case no one ever, realized that. And I would say we're pretty spread out. Not that that's a huge hurdle, but trying to figure out where we're meeting. I think we've talked a little bit about just meeting in Austin or Dallas, Fort Worth. Nothing official though. Sean, I don't think you're going. Are you as sad as I am about not being able to attend? Adam, are you going? I'm guessing not, since you said FOMOing merch the most, but I'm definitely sad. I wish I could go. J-Dunk, are you going? Like, man, Will and Bryce, have the time of your life. Shake all the hands. If freaking Gordon's there, I don't think he will be, but if he is, give him a big ass hug.
He said he was going to be there.
My guy.
He said he was going to be there.
My guy.
He said he was going to be there.
Okay. I can't wait to see your post if he's not there. I'm selling all my assets. He said he was going to be there. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying I actually remember it. My point is, what if it's like a video of like, hey, hey guys, and Ape Fest, blah, 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 blah. Like, is he, can we just be honest for a second? Is he really going to Hong Kong just to
That is a scam.
Like, that would be kind of interesting.
Don't think he would show up to Ape Fest Hong Kong?
I don't know. Like, I'd rather him show up on the timeline than one event in Hong Kong, if I'm being honest.
I mean, he did that, and then he said he's going to be in Hong Kong.
No, I'd much rather have him back talking with people than one event, but I don't know, dude. We'll see. Sean, of course, LA is doing something. You guys are always the fucking bomb at that shit. Cali, rise fucking up. Holy shit, look at this.
Yo.
Who
A little bit late returning from a work dinner. How we doing?
Fantastic. Fan-friggin-tastic. Dude, so currently, Phil believes that Gordon said he's going to Ape Fest Hong Kong, but that it's not actually going to happen, and he's not going to be there.
Yeah, dude, we'll see.
I don't know. I'm just
I feel like Gordon's going to Hong Kong.
I feel like he said he's going to Hong Kong. I mean,
I'm
see
just
you in
saying
Hong Kong
too.
means
Based off,
he didn't say see you on the other side. He said see you in Hong Kong.
We'll see, my guy. That's all I'm saying.
we shall see. I did Daniel's post made me extremely bullish for Ape Fest in Hong Kong.
That's what specifically? We went over it just a minute. You just missed it. We walked kind of through it, but
what specifically? Well, he said something about,
just that it's going to be a banger.
Ape Fest Hong Kong will be something that, that only BAYC can pull off. And I'm like, we had a yacht party in New York. We've done, a crazy event in Miami. We had the Ape Fest at Pier 17. Like, I just feel like, those events have been crazy. And he's over here saying it's going to be something only BAYC can do. I'm like, I feel like it's going to be pretty baller.
I hope it's good for the brand. Like, I hope it's like,
we said
that's like.
Well, I mean, I think we kind of talked about this a few weeks ago, but right, like I think they're really pushing the Asia narrative of like, if they can onboard, a lot of Asia there, then I feel like that's a win.
Dude, I mean, we already saw. Wasn't that somebody from Wasn't that from
Yes.
BYC SG who just freaking swept like 10 apes and they're going for 100? They have 72 or something like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah,
Nuts. So
it's
I don't know.
nuts.
I assume that they were from Asia.
They were.
because
Yeah.
Our Asian friend in what is he in? Ape. Is he in BAYC SG? What is the? Why can't I think of the name of it? The Singapore group.
I
Wasn't
don't
it the
know.
guy who ran the Singapore group one?
Probably. I don't know.
Somebody posted it. I could have sworn it was from the Singapore group. Anyways, I did
Oh,
want to
straight
dive
to
into
shooter?
like, yeah.
Yeah.
I did want to mention one other thing before we wrap
Yeah.
it up for
Fire
today,
away.
because I just want y'all's opinions on this,
Mhm.
because like I just started looking at it and like I'm so I'm so considering picking this up because who doesn't like the art, but like this.
Ooh.
I got an opinion for you.
What do you think about this?
I like it. But I almost feel like a poser buying it, if I'm being honest with you.
I would kind of agree there. I feel like if you owned a punk, like for sure.
Yeah.
But as a non-punk owner, it's a little LARPy.
It is freaking cool. Like,
Yeah, it is.
absolutely
Well,
fucking dope.
Totally agree.
But that's
Yeah,
how I feel.
the thought process that I was kind of walking through is that it's just dope. And so it would probably make me want to FOMO into a punk.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it would be kind of cool to be able to like pick it apart and just like
Buy either a corner punk
find
a certain one.
J Dunk gets all the crypto punks. It's pretty fucking dope. So
yeah, sorry. The picture is tough, but yeah, it's literally
Can
just
we do that
punks
for
from-
Bored Apes, please?
But I
Come
don't
on.
think it would hit
I don't think
the
that would
same.
happen with all the different backgrounds and everything. Like it would be too much, right? Because
I mean, I like how this is like,
right?
It is a slight missed opportunity that this doesn't arrange. You know how you can like zoom out and have it arrange into something else? It would be kind of cool if they did like some kind of something here where they arranged them all in a certain manner that drew a larger image.
Kind of like all those AI images now where it'll be like, you zoom out and it's a hidden message.
Dude, okay, but this thing, if you're getting the one without a frame, $538. With white frame, holy smokes, $900.
I mean,
is this white? Is this white frame? Like this is it's already framed and you can hang it up kind of deal?
I think so. And that seems pretty fair because I mean, if you want to go get any of our other Ape Fest posters like professionally framed, it's gonna cost you a pretty penny.
And then you go an additional $300 route and get the Museum acrylic, whatever the hell, shatter and abrasive resistance and reflective.
All of a sudden, you just bend over and take it.
Yeah, right.
Shit.
I mean, I did it once for a freaking Gucci codependent. I can do it again for a freaking.
True. This is what cheaper than a Gucci codependent, no?
We were trying to remember.
Well, how much were they? Were they
0.6?
Weren't they an ETH?
It was an ape, I thought, wasn't it? Am I fucking crazy?
Yeah, but I was thinking it was like an ETH worth of ape coin.
I'm sure it came out to like 0.6. It was like $1,000. I'm almost positive.
I thought it was like more than that.
Well, let me see. Hold on. I don't have a bunch of on-chain transactions, so let me see when I transfer it
here. Give me a second here. LOTM.otherside.xyz. It's on this main page, is it not?
This is what Will do next after he buys this piece of art. He'll wrap his car with the punk art.
Hey man, next thing. Let's see. Share this habit instead. How much were you? I need to get a different chain for mine. I said that's the alpha. Take it off the big bulky chain, put it on something a little bit different, a little thinner.
On this, like this kind of bad boy.
Yeah, I really don't.
How long ago did we purchase this?
It feels like 7 years ago.
Cost 450 ape coin. Well, that doesn't do you much good anymore, lads, because we don't know how much ape coin was worth. We don't know
good.
how much ApeCoin was worth.
At the time, it was probably like $5, let's say. So,
No, I was gonna say it was like $2.
okay, well, $2. There you go.
$2,
So about the same
$3.
exact price, and this gives you a pretty dope looking physical artwork.
Again, I like it, but I would feel just weird without an
And
ape.
also,
Or with
why
a
can't you
punk, I mean.
purchase the 100 punks in ApeCoin?
Yeah, come
Like,
on,
hello, I thought everything we should be doing from here on out is powered by ApeCoin.
dude.
You're in the community and you're buying our
CryptoPunks
shit,
would
powered
lose
by-
their fucking mind.
Yeah,
Dude,
well,
there
fuck
would
them.
be a
They're part
riot
of
in the
Yuga, and
streets.
Yuga is powered by ApeCoin. Simple.
That
Really
would
not hard.
honestly, that would be worse than fucking putting punks on a lunchbox. I feel like, dude, they might literally fucking cause a riot.
I guess the last question I have for you, and then we are gonna wrap because we're talking punks now. What are your thoughts on people asking if, and it was just a me fucking tweet, but talking about buying punks from Yuga. What are your thoughts on Yuga's long-term vision? And what's your take as someone that doesn't own a punk currently?
It's one of those like Yuga bought punks because they'd be better stewards than Matt and John, right? And now, like looking forward, I don't really know who else could be better stewards of CryptoPunks that would, satisfy the community, if that makes sense. I think no matter what, it would just people would find some way to shit on it.
$1,900.
Hey, but guess what? The good thing is I don't sell my ape ever. So actually now,
So that's what ApeCoin at what,
$450.
$4? At 4 something?
Yep,
It was 458.
420.
Quick math.
Yeah.
What about you, Mr. Will? I know you're crying about the $2,000 you spent on this amazing chain, but what's your thoughts on CryptoPunks being sold by Yuga someday?
Well, I mean, previously, Yuga Labs sold CryptoPunks that they had. This was a thing. So why would it be any different if you sell some of them? I don't know.
I'm talking about the whole collection.
He's talking about like selling punks to like a different company, like
the entire IP rights and all that.
Everything.
Right.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, I don't really see that happening.
I don't know.
I don't know
feel
who
like
would be a better steward of CryptoPunks.
Who's the buyer?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know.
And I feel like you can't really pass, and unless if there's just some other player that comes along and it's like that is a fantastic person or collective or whatever to pass the torch on to, then yeah. But I feel like there was a lot of trust when Yuga picked up the torch for it to be passed to them, right? Like, and you can kind of see some hints of that in the CryptoPunks little diary things that they got coming out. Yeah. There was the first one with Matt and John. There was a second one that had Claire Silver, which was interesting. I'm excited to see what other episodes they push out through this, because I mean it's cool. There's neat little stories and backstory. Like she was talking about freaking some person who had claimed like 450 punks and like just casually like tossed her 3 at one point. Like obviously they were probably a lot cheaper, but like holy smokes, man.
Wow. It must be.
It reminds me like early BAYC voters.
Yeah.
Like when people were actually giving them away to other people.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like a really special time. It happened for like about a week or 2.
Yeah.
And then it kind of fizzled out once they kind of became $1,000 or so, 1,000 plus. Then it was like, okay.
Also, Will, did you just go to a bunker because your fucking internet took a shit?
Dude, I was wondering if it was me connected to hotel Wi-Fi.
No, it's Will connected to a potato, apparently.
No, friends, it's definitely fine.
Bryce, I know this is, I said last question. It's still talking about CryptoPunks though.
Okay.
And we're going to end it with this. What, like how is owning CryptoPunks good for Yuga Labs? What's your take there?
How's it good for Yuga Labs?
Why is it important for them?
Well, it's one of those, I don't really think it's like good or important or anything, right? But I think that's just, they own them now. So now it's kind of, what do they do with it? And clearly, I mean, Daniel saw the the kind of two sides there on how some people want him to leave him the F alone, and other people are like, do something with him. So trying to just find that balance.
Imagine the meme of like the stick and he's like poking it with a stick. Do something.
So, I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, I don't see how it's bad or good. I think it is what it is. And it just, I mean, in the long run, we'll kind of see how that plays out.
Yeah.
But I'm not super opinionated on it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Tell.
That's still an opinion.
I mean, I don't want him to like turn around and throw him in the dumpster. I mean, like, come on now. I don't know.
But yeah.
I don't know.
I'm the same way with like the IRL clubhouse, right? Like, yeah, I think it'll be dope, but I just really don't see it all of a sudden like causing a whole bunch of wag me vibes again. Like, sure, it'll be dope to some people, but I just don't see it being like, oh my gosh, we have the IRL clubhouse. It is time to, send it to the fucking moon.
Moon mission
everybody shut up. Like, we're bullish Yuga just because of an IRL clubhouse. Like, I just don't see it. And, that's where Will and I, we probably aren't the target audience there. Sorry, I just wrapped Will into my take.
Hey, bud, speak for yourself there.
Yeah, sorry about that. But
I'm
probably just not the target audience because I just don't really see it. I think Adam Hollander had a tweet yesterday or earlier today. Kind of, I think the other side, and I think Tenacious commented on it too, kind of the other side clubhouse is going to be the big thing that really, I think, kind of brings us all together.
Yeah, we talked about that. I still think in real life clubhouse.
No, you're good. Joining super late.
No, absolutely. I think you're right.
Hey man, should we just start the whole show over?
Yeah, y'all want to go another hour?
Dude, can I do some breaking fucking news? Can I do some breaking news? Breaking news. This is from somebody in the chat, one of the chats we are in. DAC4. Congratulations, my dog. They are doing a Aero Furniture Board Ape edition with LG. What the fuck is up? Let's fucking go, my boys. So again, these are some community members that have reached out. Today, the Aero Furniture Board Ape edition is another bold step taken by LG to venturing into the realm of bringing digital art into a physical form by collaborating with this person, who is a fine art and rare wine collector, as well as the founder of Swiss Auction House. LG seamlessly integrated 5 popular board apes into a sleek design of Aero furniture. Can't wait to see more. He had been teasing this for a minute. There's some breaking fucking news for you.
That's pretty sick.
Love it.
Oh,
we fucking love it. We love the LG connection. We love all these connections. Yeah, I agree. I'll just put a ball on that. I think the other side is 100% the main clubhouse. That's the focus for sure. Like, obviously, it's in the center of other side. We're going to be there partying. They're going to have so many different activations that can be done literally daily. Like, literally, they can do shit there every single fucking day. My thought is I still would love, like, it's almost like this homage that you can pay to the fucking Miami clubhouse, even if it's only one. And if you want to go there, cool. And it's open to people, but maybe it's just a dive bar, something fucking small, but it's cool. It feels like a fucking vibe. And it's just more of it's literally more for the, it can lift your spirits in the stupidest of times because it's just physical item that you can see. I know that sounds weird.
So what? Like, if you're feeling down in the dumps, you got to go fly to Miami to go visit the clubhouse. Like, that's where I just don't see it, right?
I think that's maybe where, like, but like, why? So why do you have to fly to Hong Kong to enjoy like an Ape Fest? Then why should
you can join the.
So that's my point. So why do we? So let's just do Ape Fest on the other side.
Well, I mean, you could obviously, like, the physical in-person experiences matter, but I don't think it's one of those, like, when it's organized and it's a one-time thing and you have a large chunk of the community there, it's dope,
like,
right?
The attention is all in one spot.
But if we have like a 24/7 open all the time, you'll go there and maybe run into 3 or 4 apes. And don't get me wrong, like, that'll be sick, but it's not going to be the same as when you have one event that everybody's been waiting for, that's yearly, that's big, that the whole community comes together for.
I'm still bullish a real clubhouse.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm bullish in the sense that I feel like there's a large part of the community that desperately wants it. And so I'm kind of hoping when that happens, they'll kind of STFU and we can keep on vibing.
Wow.
Not STFU, but I mean,
it was on the roadmap, to be fair.
It is.
So
IRL clubhouse.
All right. Yes.
Well, yeah, Miami. Yep.
All right. Anywho, enough talk, dude. It's been great. Bryce, I'm glad you had your traveling meals. Both of you fools are traveling around the fucking world. I know you guys are going to Ape Fest in 2 weeks. My question to you are, when are you guys leaving? for that?
Tuesday the 31st.
You're leaving on Halloween. Also,
Halloween.
okay, sorry, my last fucking boomer take. Can we? I know that it's nostalgic. We do it the first weekend in November. Can we get away from Halloween for the people that have families, please? Can we please get away from like having Ape Fest on the fucking like? If I had to travel, I'm missing
F them
Halloween with my
kids.
4-year-old. It just sucks ass. Like, can we just move to like literally a week later? Even like, fuck, dude. Anywho, so we will see you guys next week, but then the following week it'll be some special edition. Maybe we can get some updates from you guys, not live. I'm talking, maybe you guys can send us, what's happening in Hong Kong. I have no clue what the
8
time
or
frame
10
is.
a.m. in Hong Kong. So
I have no
we
clue.
could maybe hop on.
Either way, we'll either have you guys as a guest from Hong Kong, or either way, I can't wait to hear, how that is. So, anywho, guys, thank you for being here. If you've been sticking around for the last hour and 11 minutes now, we appreciate you. Trader Blue, you and I are both boomers. Yeah, in real life, underrated. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Also Clubhouse.
Make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure that you follow us on X, all of those places. We love talking to you guys because we love Yuga Labs, and at the end of the day, that's why we're here. Thanks, Bryce. Thanks, Will. Appreciate y'all. With that, Mr. Will, Mr. Bryce, what you got for us?
Yo, we didn't even talk about Forge leaderboard.
Oh, dude, don't get me started on Forge.
Yeah,
we might be here.
Forge.
We might be here all night.
TLDR.
TLDR, if you have a companion, it doesn't matter what the fuck you do,
okay,
augment-wise,
okay,
leaderboard-wise.
He's a little salty. He's a little fired up because he found out his companionless heavy is a piece of shit.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, I could go buy a floor companion right now, play that Forge for about 10 minutes, get, legendary augments across the board, and it will be better than my 20 mil energy, top 25 leaderboard heavy metal. And I'm like, I understand that companions needed a boost in this, or else you'd have, all the Dookie Dash people losing their minds. But I'm like, I've been fucking grinding this game, and now it just feels like a massive slap in the face that I'm like, can't even pass some of these companions.
That's fair.
It is what it is. And the math was not in your favor.
The math was not in my favor. And so I've been grinding the last week, and I am now officially like,
I will say it would have made more sense if they just gave a number boost instead of a percentage boost.
Yeah.
Because
100%.
it made those that were already good heavies that much better of a reward for them. And if you were a junk bot, it really didn't incentivize you at all because you didn't get you didn't get the equivalent level of boost. Like, so if they just said, hey, you'll get plus 500 if you're in the first place, plus 450, plus 3.
That's what it should have been.
Then it's like, okay, everybody can fight for an equal amount of points, not, oh, I'm fighting for third and Bryce is fighting for third, but because I have a companion, my third place prize is actually worth 250 points, where Bryce's is only worth 150 because he doesn't have the extra points of a companion, which thus makes his percentage to his overall multiplier that much higher, or in his case, it would be that much lower. So it could use some work. I don't know if it's too late to kind of change it. It seems like they could probably change it, and it wouldn't it wouldn't rock the boat too much. If they just default to giving everybody, assume you have a maxed out heavy, apply the same percentages to the equivalent of a maxed out heavy, and just give them as a straight points to your power score across the board.
Agreed.
And that's all.
I'm mad. It took me a week to run the numbers because game came out and I was like, oh my God, I got to play and grind and yada, yada, yada. And now I ran the numbers today and I'm like, I have wasted a week of my life grinding, playing completely solo, pretty much nonstop besides with work. But yeah, very frustrating.
What I've learned is if you just bitch enough on the timeline, maybe they'll make that patch.
Yeah, I might be the only one that's bitching because I'm actually competing in the lead. I'm one of 3 heavies without a companion in the top 25, I think. Maybe there's 4. So I'm a very small minority. So everybody else with a companion is probably like, F off, kid. And I'm
get out of here.
I'm competing with the big dogs by myself. And don't feel like I'm going to get any sort of pogness there. But it is what it is.
It is what it is. And they're taking
time
feedback.
to grind my other heavies, so.
And definitely Yuga Labs Gaming X. If you haven't followed them, you should. Make sure you wave to them because you never know. they might reach out to you to get some feedback. And so we are always here for feedback.
I'll lay it down on them.
Board TV. And we are here and open on Board TV to give all the feedback. With that, again, we are Board TV. This is Board Media Group. It's Phil, it's Will, it's Bryce. We are out of here. Stay bored.
Peace.
Peace.
That money clip us now, the new now looks like. Whoa, upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like. Whoa, I hit record a drop, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always boarding. Just out touring down in Charlotte like I play for Hornets. When I'm performing, never boring, now you can't afford it. Champagne Perrier,